Boyo Games with your main.
Here with Daniel.
Daniel, and what are we playing today?
We are playing Vampire Jihad, otherwise renamed to more appropriate Vampire the Eternal Struggle.
Yep. Man, I posted on Rand's Booster Pack Network CCG history.
Oh, yeah?
The designer was talking about Jihad, and then the name changed, and then I posted Jihad in the comments, and then France got mad at me. My bad. Vampire the Eternal Struggle it is.
Jihads are a touchy subject.
Yeah. But sometimes they're not though, so.
Not with vampires.
Yeah. There you go. But it's like a holy war or something, right?
Holy war, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Vampire holy war, okay, but religious not so much.
Yeah, it's the phrase changed meaning a bit.
I hear you.
In the 90s.
I hear
for
you.
Reasons
Makes sense.
we don't need to go into now.
Leave it alone.
Yeah. So
All right.
it's a bit of a complicated game. Usually played with more than 2 players, but we're going to give it a shot and see how far we get in an hour.
Yep. I played once before, quite a while ago. I think we got through a whole game. I'm not even sure.
Sure. So I have not played yet, but I've read through the rules a bit and tried to figure them out. So we'll start with, we just got a deck that's broken up into 2 parts. We have the crypt with brown cards, and our library made of green cards. Let's see. See how many cards we draw. We're each gonna get 30 tokens. Do we have enough for 30?
Man, we could use any color for red, or we could just use dice if you wanna.
I think we can use dice. I mean, moving it around will be a little confusing, but
Yeah, I mean they suggest that you don't use the dice, but
yeah.
I mean, but like
Do they sell tokens here? I can grab some.
I mean, this should be like 30, 60, do that.
I'm not
4,
good.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 6, 46, and then dice will be just single things.
Oh yeah, that works.
7, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 5, 6. And it's got to be exactly 30, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we want exactly 30.
All right. And there's no +1/+1 counters or anything, are there?
You know, I don't think so, but it's not impossible.
So, 24, 26, 28, 30. And then 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. All right.
Perfect.
Cool. Yo, just imagine these are all blood beads.
So yeah, so we start at the untapped phase, basically untapping all your cards. Move on to the master phase where you can play cards that are specifically designated as master cards. Then you can apply any effects that would trigger during the master phase. Go to the minion phase, that's where you can take action for your minions. Mandatory actions occur at that point if they're marked as such. Then you'll go into the influence phase. That's where you're going to start moving these blood tokens from your pool onto your vampires,
Coterie.
Your coterie, if you will. Once it reaches this amount, I believe, it becomes active.
Okay.
So, let's see. Each influence phase will have 4 transfers to use. 1 transfer moves 1 pool into an uncontrolled minion. 2 transfers moves 1 pool back from uncontrolled minions back to your pool. And 4 transfers spend 1 pool to draw a new crypt card. Again, that's the brown. So it's... I don't know why it says 4 transfers and then lists 3, but it is what it is.
You say why doesn't it list 3 transfers?
Yeah. Or it says they're here. You have 4 transfers to use and then lists.
Oh, like if you spend 1/4 of your actions, yeah. 2 half of your transfers or whatever, half of your 4 actions, they could just say actions.
Okay, so you can use 4 transfers to move 4 onto an active minion.
Yep.
Okay. Then you discard your discard phase. You'll discard 1 card by default, or play an event card.
Okay.
During the minion phase, combat can happen. This is where things get a little more complicated. Combat happens in 5 phases. So first you're going to determine range. Range by default is close, but certain of your minions might have abilities that allow you to jump out of range, move into range, things like that. Typically you need to have an equipment card to do something like that. Then you'll choose strikes. Default is 1. Then you'll resolve strikes. Strikes resolve simultaneously. You can play damage prevention cards at that point. Aggravated damage is different than regular damage.
To torpor.
Aggravated damage sends vampires to torpor, yeah.
Yeah, where's torpor at? It's like exile zone, or?
Yeah. Torpor is basically it's defeated, but because they're vampires, they don't really die. They go to torpor and they can come back.
That's like not the graveyard, but like the exile zone.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. After that, if somebody presses, it's a card ability, then you keep the battle going. The defender can press as well to further avoid combat if they want. Then the round ends. And so the point is to get the other player's pool from 30 to 0. So every time you use money to buy a card or get a minion on your side, you're giving up your own life pool, so that's kind of the trade-off. Very interesting economy, I think.
Using my main phone, I think this camera might suck a little bit, but... Well, no, I guess it might actually be better, not sure. The focus.
Yeah. I mean, that's the gist of it. Like we said, we're just going to give it an hour and see how far we kind of get.
Cool. So we choose our starting coterie, right?
That is correct, yeah.
Yeah.
So, where did these cards come from? From
I
this
think
one, right?
those are there. I think.
Yeah. Do you want to, I don't know which is which, do you want to just start with whatever we...
I mean, you can choose.
Yeah, I guess I'll stay with this one. I didn't really look at it, so if you have a preference.
Oh, yep, I couldn't even remember. We just made these from the available cards that one day.
Yeah, and they were built around certain vampire teams, whatever you call them, families or...
Yeah.
Similar to Color and Magic.
Yeah, Malkovian and what else?
I think this is Tremere. Is that what it is?
Yeah, Tremere, Bruja, Malkavian, Nosferatu, Toreador, Tremere, Ventru, and Kaltif. Stuff like that.
Okay.
And this happens to be a Tremere deck. Which type is yours?
This is... what's the rose?
Camilla clans, you can see.
That's right. Camarilla, is that it?
Right there. There's way more clans though. Sabat and Liban Independent.
Toreador, yeah, and the Camarilla.
Okay.
I can't quite read that. But... okay, let's see. Starting the game. This is how you know it's old, when it's this tiny little instruction booklet.
I'll take that any day over just a PDF.
That is true.
That's me.
I'm trying to see how we start the game, like how card draws work.
So starts with 30 pool counters, starts with 60 to 90 card library, starts with a minimum of 12 crypt cards, brown back, no limit, starts with 7 cards in hand drawn from library, starts with 4 uncontrolled crypt cards drawn from crypts, and when a card is played, the player immediately draws a replacement. So 7 cards from hand from library.
Okay. These aren't shuffled yet, so we'll...
Crypt, yeah. Crypt, not coterie.
Yeah. Same thing, though.
Seems like it, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if these are 60 card decks. Surely they are.
They feel about it.
Yeah, they feel like 60 cards. Guess we'll do the cuts. Now my question now is, do you get to pick your 4 starting vamps or no?
I would guess random if I had to.
Start with 4 uncontrolled crypt cards drawn from crypt. I guess it says drawn from crypt, yeah. This one of like the grilled TCGs that you wanted to play, right?
It is, yeah. I've heard so much about it. The theme always intrigued me.
Man, who has a real good video? Did you check out that one video of like, it was like 4 people like in the box or something? They had a real good like cinematic type of.
Yes, I did see that a long time ago. Yeah, that was a great video.
Yeah. They're like doing they're doing like 90s kids stuff, and then they're like sitting on the floor playing. Yeah. Good video. Did you happen to watch their Game of Thrones video as well?
No, I was just gonna ask if they have other ones.
They have a bunch. They have like 60. I think they kind of stopped like a year or 2 ago. It's a crying shame.
That's too bad. They were funny, yeah.
Oh yeah, I liked them. All right, so here goes my starting crypts, coterie, whatever you want to call it. Thomas Thorne cost 6. Cassandra Magus Prime 10. Sarah Cobbler 4. And Thomas Thorne again 6. Now you can't have multiples, or why not? I don't know.
I think you can. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, we're not gonna sweat it probably this first game.
Yeah, exactly. So bleed is another function you can do during the minion phase. I think it's fairly important, so I'm just going to read it out loud.
Okay.
Bleeding is one of the most fundamental actions of the game. It is the basic action of your minion to undermine the power and influence of another player, and represents your vampire meddling directly in the affairs of another Methuselah.
Okay.
We are playing as Methuselah.
Okay, Methuselah.
Very ancient vampires.
Okay, cool.
You might picture bleeding as paying bribes, burning down properties, spreading rumors, etc. You may attempt to bleed the player who is your prey. Normally, you're playing left, so the player to your left is your prey.
Okay.
But this is 2 players, so obviously we're each other's prey. If unblocked, this action removes 1 blood from the blood pool of the blood player to the blood bank. If your vampire has a modifier to its bleed, it may remove extra blood. So I'm not sure if that causes it to tap. I would imagine so.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Don't see it on here, but I'm gonna go read this one too. So minions, vamps, and allies. When a minion attempts an action, they tap when the action is announced, and when a minion successfully blocks, they tap. A successful block requires intercept equal or greater than the current level of stealth. Only ready untapped minions can perform actions, except to leave torpor. Only ready untapped minions can block or play reactions unless a card says otherwise. Minions can act multiple times in a turn if they can untap during the turn. Minions can't repeat the same action each turn. This includes different types of bleed, political, or previously blocked actions. Hunts, diabolary, and rescues can be repeated. If an action is canceled, it can be attempted again. Influence and transfers. On the first turn, the first player has 1 transfer. The second player has 2 transfers. The third player 3 transfers, and after that, all players have 4 transfers each turn.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think it'll be
1, 2,
4,
3.
4, 4.
You think so?
I
Okay.
think so, yeah. I think those are for the multiplayer rules.
Yeah, that'll work. After that, all players have 4 transfers. Oh, right here. 4 transfers each turn. You can distribute pool via transfers to only uncontrolled crypt cards. Crypt cards with the capacity met are flipped and moved to the ready region. Oh, do we keep these crypt cards face down or?
Oh, that's a good question. It would make...
Uncontrolled. So yeah, I guess they are face down. I guess I'm sure we can look at them, but not the opponent.
Yeah. Kind of like agendas.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right.
Another action you can take without a card in addition to bleed is hunt. It basically adds a blood token to your controlled vampire from the blood bank, not from yours, but from... We might need a few more tokens, but we'll figure that out. You can never exceed your maximum health, though.
Okay. And you're reading the general or just going off of prior knowledge?
Reading this.
Okay. Just still in general, right?
I'm under type of actions. Where are you?
Oh, I'm just reading these key facts, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right.
Continue.
Yeah, this new little device, I don't know about it. You can distribute pool via transfers to any uncontrolled crypt card. Crypt cards with the capacity are met and flipped and moved to the ready region. You may pay 1 pool and 4 transfers to move a crypt card to your uncontrolled region. You may pay 1 pool and 4 transfers to merge in an advanced vampire. You can spend 2 transfers to move 1 pool back from a crypt card to your pool. General, whenever cards contradict the rules, the card takes precedence. Your prey is to your left, reduce the pool to 0 and gain 1 VP and 6 pool. Your predator is to your right, prevent them from ousting you. A direct action targets another player or a card he or she controls. An undirected action does not directly target another player, and that includes political actions. Only the player targeted by the directed action can block it. Only your predator or prey can block your undirected actions. The game ends when only 1 player remains or 2 hours have passed. Okay, pretty cool timer. The last player standing receives a bonus VP. The winner is the player who amassed the most VP, ousted or not. Do you understand the VP and everything?
VP, I think you collect from knocking out your prey.
That's just for one player. I mean, multiplayer games.
So,
Yeah.
I think so.
Reduce their pool to 0. So yeah. So you get 1 VP for reducing somebody to 0.
Oh, got it. So that would still make sense, yeah.
That kind of seems pretty kind of stupid because like if somebody else knocks them down from 30 to 29, 30 to 1, then you get the last hit and then you get the VP.
Yeah, well, you can only attack the person who's your prey.
Oh yeah, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. Good allies.
But I wonder like if there's like indirect attacks that also deal damage. Probably, but
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
yeah, but I think we sound pretty good to go.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we start with no blood on them so far, or man, you know what? We'll go. The red dice will be the pool blood, and then every other color of dice is just a regular one blood. A red dice or the pool blood.
Okay.
And then we'll actually count the pips on the red dice. So we took out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll give you 8 more.
Okay.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. And then make sure you got 30 though.
Yeah.
Man, I somehow got way more than 30. 10, 20. Oh, maybe not. No, maybe not. 30. Yep, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Oh. Excuse me. And then and I guess just for the people at home, we got different card types. The 2 triangles, those are action cards. The other weird looking triangles, that's action modifier cards. And if it has no type, I'm not sure what kind of card that is, but
No type.
no type. And we got gun, that's equipment cards, makes sense. We got reaction with a swinging around reaction. Then we have action modifier again and action again. And all these are types of cards. Disciplines, what do the disciplines all mean?
So disciplines mean, so each of your cards has a couple disciplines. Square means standard, diamond means that they're proficient in it. That dictates what kind of cards can be played to them.
Each one of your vamps.
Correct, yeah. So because he has the eye proficiency, I can play this on it because it has it. But I couldn't play it if he didn't have that.
Okay.
They got to match the symbols, I believe.
Okay. So it's like they're performing that action.
It just means that they can use it.
Okay.
They have the skill to use. Weapons will have symbols on them and have to be played to matching symbols.
Okay.
Things like that.
Cool. Okay. Cool. All right.
So, do you want to go first, or?
We'll roll for it, or yeah, we'll roll for it.
Are you rolling 2?
And we just go to 1. All right, I'll go first. How often does that outside pool come into play?
It depends.
Okay.
It shouldn't be too often. I don't think we'll need much more than this.
Okay.
And it doesn't. We don't need to keep it separate. If that makes sense, I don't think.
Okay.
Like once it comes into play, it's blood.
All right. So we'll go to we'll just read through the whole turn phase thing. So untap phase. What you do? Untap all your cards. Gain a pool if you have the edge. And what's the edge about?
So edge is. That's a good question. I know you get extra blood if you have it.
And then besides that, they'll apply/use any effects applied during the untap phase. And then other players, what they do is they watch. Then after that, the untap phase, then we go to the master phase. What you do, play master cards. Okay, 1 by default. And then trifle master cards grants only 1 additional master phase. Only 1 additional master phase. And then apply/use any effects applied during the master phase, i.e. blood dolls. Other players can cancel your master card with cards such as sudden reversal or wash. Alright, so let's see if I want to play a master card. Never leave home without your master card. These cards remind me of Personal Conquest cards.
Yeah, so my art is definitely yeah.
For Personal Conquest.
That style.
Kicking it retro. All right, let's go minion phase. I don't think I want to do anything on the master phase. So minion phase, what you do, take actions with your minions. No stealth by default. And then any mandatory actions must happen first. Simply empty vampires must hunt. Whatever that says. Cardless actions bleed, one by default. So bleed is one by default. So how does the bleed work again?
It's just an action you can take. You tap and bleed. It moves one of your blood pool to the blood bank.
No, these are for separate ones. This is for.
It's like you're attacking.
This is for a different build of Nami.
Okay. Oh, moves one of the opponent's blood pool to the blood bank.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That was confusing.
Okay. Modify actions with action modifiers cards. Increase stealth bleed.
And as soon as you do the bleed action, you get that edge token.
As soon as you do the bleed, you get the edge. Okay. What's gonna be the edge token? We'll make this the edge token. It's the weirdest looking thing. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll get me another one. Okay, and then just to go over it all again, but influence phase, you have 4 transfers to use. 1 transfer, move 1 pool to your uncontrolled minions. 2 transfers, move 1 pool from your uncontrolled minions. 4, spend 1 pool to draw a new crypt card. Can you have more than 4 crypts, you know?
That's a good question. I think so.
Okay, just moving them forward. Discard phase, what you do, discard a card, 1 by default, or play an event card, 1 by default. And then other players can cancel event cards with cards like not to be. And then during the minion phase, you do the combat phase as well, but... Jihad, Vampire, the Eternal Struggle. Play it. Yeah, so alright, so I have 1 transfer, so that means all I can do is move 1 pool to your uncontrolled minions. So I'll do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Untap phase, I had nothing to untap. Master phase, didn't want to do that. Minion phase, I got nothing to combat with. So 4 influence phase. Oh, I did the influence phase. I had 1 transfer. Discard phase, discard a card. Oh, you have to discard a card every time?
It sounded like it, didn't it?
Yeah, or play an event card. Did I only make 1 of those each, or did I make 2?
You can grab those if you want.
Okay. Yeah, looks like I made the 1 of them.
Oh no, interesting. So discard phase, you can discard one. You can discard one card from your hand and replace it with a card from the top of your library.
Okay, you can. Okay. All right, discard one card from hand and replace it with one from the top of the library. Nah, I'll keep what I got. All right, so then with that, I'll pass turn.
Not going to do anything for the master. I can move 2 for this one. So I'll put them there.
Okay, so you did the 2 transfers, so you move 1 pool back from your uncontrolled minions.
Or no, I did the first transfer twice. Moving blood.
Now, when you do the 1 transfer, move 1 pool to your move 1 pool to your uncontrolled minions. I did like 1 to each. That's not how it goes.
Oh no, I think you get 1.
Okay.
I think, right?
Man, in the real book, do you see
Did
it?
it say each or did it say?
I'll trade you for the red green.
Let's see. Yeah, 1 blood to one of your uncontrolled vampires.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to discard and redraw.
Okay. All right. And then, anything else you wanted to do?
No, I'll pass turn.
Okay. All right. Untap phase. Play master cards. 1 by default. Minion phase. 4 transfers. Move 1 pool to your uncontrolled minions. Move 1 pool back from your uncontrolled minions. Why would you move 1 pool back from your uncontrolled minions?
Because maybe your life is getting low. You need to
Okay.
think back.
A 4. Spend 1 pool to draw a new crypt card. Alright, so I'll put 2 here. 1, 2. Right. Then I'll pass turn.
Alright. Oh, you'll get a 4 transfers this turn.
Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So once 1 comes out, then how does it come out? Does it come right out or?
It comes right out, I think. I don't think it comes in. Let's see.
Did you get another number? Oh, okay. I have the Japanese one. Just like I have the English one, the Japanese one.
Okay. At the end of the influence phase, a vampire in your inactive region with as many blood counters as capacity becomes controlled. Let's turn right side up and put it in the active region.
Right side up and active reason.
The tokens stay on it because that's their life.
Okay.
As they lose life, I believe it just goes to back to the bank.
Yep. And then when do you get the edge?
Edge you'll get if you do a bleed action on me.
Okay. Just tap it to do the bleed action.
Yeah. So you can do that.
That's why I was like, so it's either win or lose. So
Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and read the combat deal. So, a minion enters combat when he or she is blocked or through cards such as Bum's Rush. Each minion involved in the combat has the opportunity to use those S-Snake cards, combat cards, typically red. By default, the acting minion leads in each of the steps below. Play any before range cards, acting player first. Okay, A, determine range. Range by default is close. Typically, combat cards or equipment are required to maneuver. If able, each player has the opportunity to maneuver to long range or maneuver back to close. Before play any before strike cards. Acting player first. Choose strikes. Each player chooses their strike. Acting player first. Default one hand damage. Only strike can be played per minion. If a combat end strike is played, skip to E. C, resolve strikes. Strikes resolve simultaneously unless street life, steal life, or first strike. And aggravated damage sends vampires to torpor. A damaged empty vampire goes to torpor. Play damage prevention cards. And play cards that grant additional strikes. Only one source of additional strikes allowed. D, presses. Each player can press to continue combat or counter press to end it. Typically, cards are required to press. By default, combat will end if no player presses. E, round ends. Play any end of round cards. Acting player first, and combat ends if no press was played. All right, so I'm a simple bleed. Do you know, like, this card just really details the bleed, but just tap it to bleed?
Yeah, and then I just lose one.
Okay, and then I get the edge.
You get the edge.
Now, do I get the edge, or this guy gets the edge?
You get the edge as a player.
Okay.
But then if I bleed, obviously I take it back. So
Okay.
yeah. Okay. Is that your?
Yep. Think that's all that I got. Discard a card, and then there's event cards. Here's all I got. The main way you draw cards is okay. You gain a pool if you have the edge.
Right. Yeah. Attack.
When do you really draw cards, though?
That's a good question. It never really says, does it?
No, didn't say in the book. I look in here.
Because yeah, with the 60 card deck.
You don't remember there being a 1 of 2 right here, this blue one, do you?
No, I don't think I lost one.
It's here.
But so I kept them all together on my desk.
Maybe didn't print it. Be in here. For some reason, that seems like the only book too.
You have a regular one? No. Then no. You had a regular one? No. So. I don't have it all together So I'm missing 4.
Attention One Piece players, if you have not signed up, come and see me and do that now.
I don't know if you actually ever draw. Besides discarding the redraw. That can't be right?
Yeah, I mean, you think you need some more cards, but
So I was like, the reason why I'm not playing that deck is because I don't have rush. Austin was here last week. Yeah, and I got all 4 restaurants. It would be a good day to play. It's a very, if you go in.
Good ball.
Discard a card. Maybe you only come about new cards by discarding and drawing on the discard phase, maybe? But that's weird.
That's
but
what it seems like, but it does seem weird, yeah. You know, I think you're right.
I think that's the only way to come about new cards.
Card to replace it. This means you'll almost always have a hand of 7 cards.
I guess it's kind of like a weird take on like the Keyforge, the first Keyforge type of thing.
Is that how it works in Keyforge?
The Keyforge, you mostly keep a hand of 6 cards.
Oh, sorry. I see. Each time you play or discard a card from your hand, you immediately draw a card to replace it.
Was it?
So you should always have 7.
Man, it didn't. Okay. All right.
That was on a website somewhere.
Didn't say that anywhere on here, did it?
Feels relevant, doesn't it?
Yeah. Nope, it says it right here. When a card is played, the player immediately draws a replacement.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I'll do 2 to bring this one out. Dorian Strack. 4. He has a lightning bolt and an eye ability. I know those have names. I don't know what they are.
Celerity, and the eye is Auspex. Auspex and Celerity.
I guess I'll bleed as well then. So that,
For all loser pool,
yeah.
I'll just try to keep the pool red. I don't know.
It doesn't matter. It's all blood.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's supposed to be 8 in there, or?
It doesn't matter. It's just spare tokens for when we need to move things around.
Okay.
But it's all the same token.
Okay.
And then I get the edge token.
Okay.
Since I bled.
And then the edge grants you what kind of edge?
You get I think you get a blood from the blood pool, 1 each turn at the beginning of your turn.
Beginning of your turn. Okay.
So you have to keep it over the other player's turn.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right. All right, it's coming together nicely.
See it?
All right.
I might discard. I'm gonna discard this. Okay, your turn.
All right. Ready. I don't have the edge, so I don't get an extra blood from my blood pool.
Oh wait, I had 2 more to use that I didn't use.
Right. I have untap phase, no untap actions. Master phase, play master card. Nope. Minion phase. Take any actions with your minions.
The loot sheet.
Oh, minions are different than vamps, right?
I don't think so. I think these are minions.
I think these are minions.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, but some of them have actions. I don't see any. Oh, okay. Maybe some of them do have actions.
There are, yeah, some of them do.
Excuse me.
There are retainers and allies which are different, but those will be in your deck.
I was like, whatever building army I'm gonna play, I have
Okay, I got no minions, so I got 4 transfers. So 1, I can move 1 to the from the pool to uncontrolled the minions, uncontrolled minions.
Yeah,
And 2 transfers, move 1 pool back from your uncontrolled minions just to get life when you're about to die. And then 4, spend 1 pool to draw a new crypt card.
I want to change those out for
All right, I'll pay and spend 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 right there.
Alright.
Man, I've already had 1 on that one, right?
You had 1 your first round, 4 your next one. So yeah, you should.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, and then with that, okay, we're on.
Z to do the job so much better. I don't.
Oh, combat is actually influences after the combat and all that stuff. So let's hold on that transfer and everything. So we'll do combat first. Yeah. Okay, so we'll do combat. A minion enters combat when he or she is blocked. So you can't block when you're tapped naturally.
Correct, yeah.
Or through such as Bones Rush. Each minion involved in the combat has the opportunity to use those S combat cards, typically red. By default, the acting minion leads in each of the steps below. Determine range, okay. Choose strikes. Each player chooses their strike. Only strikes can be played per minion. Only strike can be played per minion.
Okay.
Yeah, so what are the type of strikes?
I think strikes are strike cards.
And then, okay, then we'll reference the types of cards again. So we have action cards, political action, equipment, ally, retainer, power, action modifier, reaction, combat, reflex, event, and conviction. Do you think strike cards are types of combat cards, or?
I think so, yeah, because right here. So there's before strike, there's additional strike.
Before strikes, okay, yeah. So strike cards, I guess, are just combat cards.
Yeah, only strike can be played per minion if the combat ends. It's going to be. Okay.
So we're saying like strike cards are, man, I'm just looking at the deck, but
Got about 15 minutes and we're gonna start it up. We got one more.
okay, I see 1 strike card. Well, I see 1 combat card, but it doesn't say strike though.
What does it say it does? Let's see. Adds 2 aggravated damage, 2 against damage. This is a combat card.
Don't see anything about strike on them particularly.
Yeah, so obviously this plays during combat, but what stage does it?
Okay, I see something with strike. I'll put that one, well, here, and here.
Yes, man.
Alright, so adds 2 aggravated damage to a gun's damage, so that buffs up equipment. And then strike 2 damage. Can be prevented by cards that require fortitude. If victim attempts to strike with a weapon this round, okay, so you strike with weapons. This round, victim does no damage. Only usable at close range as above, but 3 damage.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Well, I mean, we'll get close enough to figuring it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how are we on time?
And 48 minutes so far.
Let's give it a little bit more.
Yeah. All right. So my question is, how do I go into combat right now? Do I direct attack, or since you can't block, you just have to take the blood, or what do we think?
Yeah, well, you can bleed either way. I don't think bleed can be blocked unless there's specific cards to do it. But you can tap to bleed and move one of these over here and get this back.
What if I wanted to go straight for your vamp though, your minion?
Straight for him?
Yeah, I mean I can do that
Yes.
because it's definitely combat. But
It's definitely combat. Oh yeah, you can absolutely do it. Yeah.
is there counter-attacking, or
See, that's what I'm confused about because I'm tapped, so
we could go into this one? I could go into this one. We have both of the pages of this. All right, so Part 3, combat. In VTES, combat always involves two minions, and it occurs either as the result of a successful block or a successful action to enter combat with another minion, such as Bum's Rush. Okay, so it seems like you have to a successful action to enter combat with another minion. I don't get it, but I guess block or enter combat. I don't know. Combat is essentially a separate mini game where the participating minions go back and forth playing combat cards.
Xavier, Tony,
Wait a second.
Nathan, Michael, and Trevor.
You missed. I paid.
Okay, what's your name?
Joe.
Huh?
Joe.
Joe?
Preston, you paid, right?
Okay, anybody else?
Preston too.
Preston was the second name.
Angie Daddy.
All right, combat is essentially a separate mini game where the participating minions go back and forth playing combat cards, which are marked with the combat icon. That's not even S. That's we'll just call that Nazi. Jihad Nazis. Which are marked with the combat icon shown to the left. However, different combat cards are played during different phases or timing windows during the battle. Okay. In each of these phases, the active minion has the opportunity to play cards first. This gives the defender an important advantage during combat, as they may respond to the attacker's play. Each player may continue to play cards during a phase until both players have passed. Note that deciding to play a card does not prevent you from playing other cards later during that phase, but once both players have sequentially declined to play a card or use an effect, that phase ends. Finally, combat cards are unique in that a minion may play multiple copies of the same card during a single combat. Remember that action modifiers and reaction cards are limited to one per action, whatever that means. Combat proceeds in 4 major phases: determine range, strike, press, and end of round. But there exists a number of cards that are played during special timing windows that don't perfectly conform to these 4 main phases. The result being that there are 8 main timing windows during combat. While that might sound overwhelming, it very quickly becomes intuitive first, because each card carefully indicates when it can be played, and second, because most combats won't actually use all 8 timing windows.
It's gonna be as follows. It's gonna be Tony versus Trevor. Preston versus Joe. Peyton versus Xavier. Nathan versus Michael. Mark, you have to buy.
All right. Combat proceeds smoothly and easily if both players carefully announce each timing window and declare whether they have cards to play or not. Complications arise when one player skips a phase that the second player wanted to use. All right, let's dive in. I'll describe each timing window, and then I'll walk through a pretty complicated example of combat so that you can see all the pieces in motion. Finally, I'll discuss how to rectify play order mistakes. Okay, pre-range, strike resolution, determine range, pre-strike, strike, press. And then some of the stuff might have gotten cut off for all I know. Printing with printers is always a hassle. I don't know. When you're trying to combine sheets, I don't know. Press. I don't know. But yeah, it just seems like different phases and crap, so.
Product support number. Okay, yeah, so each attack is standard 1 damage, right?
That's how it goes?
I think so. I think it's hand damage, hand-to-hand combat, 1 damage standard.
Okay. So I can swing on Dorian, then that'll be 1 damage.
Yeah.
Does Dorian counterattack?
No, because I can't play reaction cards because I'm tapped. And I can't do anything else.
Alright, so I guess I'll do
So that
1.
goes to the bank.
Okay. And then you can just swing on me when it comes on your turn.
Correct, yeah, I'd be able to, yeah.
Okay. Alright. And then that's just all that there is to that. Oh, it says each minion involved in the combat has the opportunity to use combat cards. A minion enters combat when he or she is blocked or through cards such as Bum's Rush. By default, the active minion leads in each of the steps. Okay, we'll just go back to this minion phase. Take actions with your minions. Oh, I could have took actions with this minion before combat, actually.
What kind of actions?
Any mandatory actions must happen first. No stealth by default. Cardless actions such as bleed, 1 by default. Hunt, Diablerie, or Rescue Torpor. Those are free actions.
What's Diablerie?
Diablerie.
Okay. My Soju King.
Hunt, rescue from Torpor, Diablerie, vampires only. These actions are a bit complicated and they don't come up all that often, so you can skip over this section until you need it during the game. If a vampire is damaged beyond its ability to heal, it usually slips into a deep coma-like state called torpor. I'll explain dealing and healing in greater detail in the sections on combat. These 3 cardless actions are the only ways of interacting with the vampire in torpor. Unlike most other actions, a vampire may attempt these actions any number of times per turn, even against the same target. Okay, Diablerie. Directed, 0 stealth or +1 stealth. Vampires may attempt to take this action targeting a vampire in torpor. This is the action of devouring a vampire's very soul and essence, and it's considered a heinous crime, and those who commit it may find themselves declared anathema and hunted down. If you're attempting to perform Diablerie on one of your own vampires that has +1 stealth, remember that directed actions against yourself become, and then words might have gotten cut off, I'm not sure. Yourself become associated with them, whether their action is directed or undirected, and there's an inherent stealth to the action. I don't know. I think that's probably the next thing, but
That makes sense.
Something
about you can kill your own vampires is what it sounds like, or maybe you can kill other vampires too. Take their soul, and it's advanced stuff, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So we're just thinking I can just hit that guy for 1, and then that's all that can be done about it.
I think so. Unless
Okay.
you have cards.
Because you're not
combat
ready.
cards That, yeah.
All right. So at this point I could discard and draw. No, first I get my influence, so I'll throw 3 on this guy, 1 on this guy. And then do I want to discard or not?
I did not think I would finish this now. That's why I didn't go.
Yep, I'll, let's see. I'll just pass.
So it'd be
If you have, like, say you have like 5 fully held minions out here,
Yeah.
5 fully held minions out here, but you only have 2 blood in the pool, then you take 2 damage to your pool, that means you lose, right?
Lose, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, you can't spread yourself.
What's happening with it?
Sorry.
Here we go. Good deal. Move that over there.
Alright. I'm going to attack your guy here.
Okay, so I can't do anything since I'm tapped. That's how we're thinking. And then I'll put that back in the blood pool.
I think you can play some cards as long as they're not reactions. Because I have. Well, So this can be played only by a tapped vampire and its reaction.
Excuse me.
That's why.
Alright, so on the edge.
And
Okay.
then I'm gonna press that continues combat. It basically restarts the combat,
Okay.
but you can counter it if you have a press card and stop it, and we stop combat.
Okay.
I can't stop that out. Yeah.
Nope.
So
And then what's the symbol of the press? Oh, it's just a combat
it'll
card?
say press on it, yeah.
But it's inherently a combat card?
I think yes. Yeah.
Alright, yep.
Okay. So I'll do 1 more damage,
Alright.
and then I'll put 3 on here to bring him into play. So 5 costs for these little abilities.
You get 1 more blood, right?
Oh,
1 more transfer, right?
yes, I have 1 more. I'll put it here. Discard and redraw. Okay. And oh, I can't bleed at this point. Can I? That has to be the
You're in the influence phase?
yeah. So,
Did you want to do that before or something? Or?
no, because I just played him. Okay.
Yeah. Once you play, you can't bleed. Alright. And alright, I'll go to my ready. Ready Sarah. Master phase. Minion phase. Okay, so those D actions, what are those D actions about? Oh, D, maybe D presses, or I don't know.
Directed, it says. I don't know what it means though.
Oh, I guess if it's not like, I think directed is directed at one
you're
vamp,
right, yeah.
and then underrated is just blanket. I think.
Interesting. Okay, yeah,
But,
that makes sense.
No savior because that bitch gets double strike after that.
So this anarchy thing is what?
That's a type.
Demogurgy. Okay, I got you. Gotcha. Oh, crap. Where is he?
We can wrap after your turn here.
Well, I mean, I'm good to keep on going. I mean, as long as you were, all right, but yeah.
I'll keep playing.
Okay, cool. All right, we didn't have anything else really set for today, right?
I don't think so.
No.
Unless you brought something you wanna play.
Nah. We could, if we got time, we could bust out one of these ones that were sent, but
We'll see, yeah.
yeah, we'll see. All right, okay, so playing a Demogurgy. All right, this works for me. All right, so I'll go Demogurgy. Both of these have the Demogurgy. I need to try to say that correctly. Thaumaturgy. Thaumaturgy, very small. Thaumaturgy.
Yeah.
Oh, right here. Yeah, Thaumaturgy. I don't know.
Very weird. Oh, yeah, I don't know.
All right, so doing a Thaumaturgy action. So +1 stealth, whatever that means, and remove 1 blood from any vampire, or do 1 damage to any ally or retainer. So I'll remove 1 blood from any vampire.
All right.
Goes back to the pool. And then as above, but acting vampire gains 1 blood from the blood bank.
So this means, yeah. So this works because,
They both have thaumaturgy.
yeah, but because this is a diamond and not a square, it means you're proficient, so you get to use the second ability.
Oh, that's how that goes. Okay. Diamond, not a square. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
If
Okay.
you had the square, you just use the top one.
Gotcha. Nice. All right. So remove 1 blood from any vamp.
All right.
As above, but acting vampire gains 1 blood from the blood bank.
Nice.
All right, so diamond is proficient. Okay. Well, you didn't have any counter reaction, did you? Counteraction, did you? But
That's a good question. I don't want to. I have 6 cards.
yeah, it's true. Happens all the time in T-Force.
I guess I do. Eagle's side. +1 intercept.
Now that's a reaction. Okay, not action modifier, but reaction.
Yeah.
It sounds like in counter to an action, but
So he can play because he's untapped. +1 intercept. I think that means intercept and stealth have to be equal to use it.
okay, so I have +1 stealth and then intercept +1.
They block any action from any minion. So I'll block the second action, I guess. I don't know if those count as 1 action, but we'll play.
This vampire may attempt to block any action of
Yeah.
any minion.
I guess
So it
attempt
would take the
because
damage instead. So then I can counter react
You
as
can
well.
react to this, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what's the window of stuff? Can I play action modifiers after you've played reactions, or does it have to go?
That's a good question.
Okay. Yeah, like see how this could be real fun.
Okay, the phases for an action are as follows. Player's action is declared. The defender can block the action. If the action is blocked, the blocking minion is tapped. Oh, this is combat. This is combat.
No, you don't have one.
I guess, yeah, okay. If the action was not directed against Methuselah, then your prey may attempt to block the action.
I have something.
I'm pretty sure you probably have to add modifiers before.
Yeah, that would make sense once you get to the reaction phase.
Yeah. Well, it might be here. Oh, this is just combat it's talking about. Take actions. Any mandatory actions happen first. Okay, modify actions with action modifiers. Other players can attempt to block with minions, can cancel your actions with certain cards, and then they can play reaction cards, increase intercept. Thinking logically, it's probably you intercepted, so then I can't modify it anymore. All
I
right.
think so.
So then I guess that one would take the damage instead.
What was the second action? As above. So I'm gonna block the second one.
Oh, you're thinking you can't do both of them. You probably do both of them, right?
You think so? It's a single. Yeah, that's possible. You're
All
probably
right. So
yeah.
I tried to do the action on that. You blocked it.
Yeah, so it gets it back, right?
Yeah. Well, that had 3 on it, didn't it?
Did you do 2 damage? Oh yeah, no, you're right. It comes from there. Thank you.
Yeah. I see you did. I had 2. So I swung like a remove 1 blood, do 1 damage. Yeah, remove 1 blood from a vampire. I tried to do these 2, but this one blocked it. So this one would take the remove 1 blood. And as above, but acting vampire gains 1 blood from the blood bank. So I've already added mine, but then
I wonder if I think your action is playing this card, so I think it blocks the whole thing.
This vampire may attempt to block any action of any minion. I think block means you step in and take the action instead of its intended target.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But it could be the other way, but that's what I'm thinking of.
That's okay. Let me see.
Because, I mean, it uses words like intercept. That means it would take it instead.
I don't like playing. I don't want to play against this deck.
Yeah, like if I had page 1 of 2, maybe I left it in here somewhere.
Blocking an action. Whenever your minion announces an action, other Methuselahs can attempt to block the action to prevent it from taking place.
Okay, prevent it from taking place. Yeah, I don't see it.
Okay, so non-directed cards can be blocked by anyone at the table, but only the target player can block directed actions.
Okay. All right, so this one just doesn't occur is what it
I
is.
think so, yeah.
Okay, that'll work. Our first discarded card goes here.
It's your first one.
Yeah.
Now, does he tap because he used an action? Or tried to?
Good question, I'm sure, but taking action doesn't say anything about tapping, but
Oh, wait. Oh, no, you're right, okay.
yeah, because I think they said minions can try to do actions more than once. Let me read that part. While most minions only take a single action in a turn, there are effects that allow minions to unlock what is that, and take subsequent actions. However, a minion may never take the same action twice during the same turn. The majority of actions are completely explained on the action card itself, but there are few exceptions. There are some subcategories of action cards that receive a second card type symbol These are special types of actions that have a tiny bit of rules that aren't included on the card. Furthermore, there are few actions that can be taken without the use of a card, which are generally referred to as cardless actions. Below I go through each type of action, explain how they're taken, and explain special rules and restrictions. Oh yeah, the game's got a 2-hour time limit on it anyway, so we can play for 2 hours and see what happens. Yeah. You got about 45 minutes.
Yeah, so taking an action taps the acting minion. So I think it does tap it.
Okay. All right, and with that, what phase am I on now? Influence phase, because I have no other vamps to do anything with. Man, I kind of forget. Oh, I still have the 3 on there, or did I? No. I attempted to.
Oh, to heal.
Take, yeah. All right. Yeah. So I'll go to my influence phase. Have 4 transfers. I'll put 1 here. One here. Procking this one. And then I'll put 2 here. All right, and with that, okay, so this blood that was used to catch this guy goes to my pool, or goes to the community.
Stays on him.
Oh yeah.
That's a 6 cost.
Oh, I'll put the 2 on here. Then 2 from there for my influence. Yeah. All right, and then do I want to play any cards or anything? No, I don't. Yep.
This one comes back.
So my ready guy can't just straight block for Sarah Cobbler, can he?
Can he block for her?
Yeah.
I think that there's a keyword that allows that.
Bum's Rush, maybe? A minion enters combat when he or she is blocked or through cards such as Bum's Rush. Reading this though, a minion enters combat when he or she is blocked, as through combat cards such as Bum's Rush. So you played Eagle Sight, which this vampire may attempt to block, and then they would actually enter combat before this guy gets summoned.
What does that mean?
So a minion enters combat when he or she is blocked. So this was blocked, it entered combat.
Does that mean this is blocking an action?
I mean, I'm just reading this part. A minion enters combat when he or she is blocked. Oh, but maybe it's Bum's Rush is a special type of card that makes it enter combat.
Yeah, that's weird, because wouldn't you be... If you're blocked, you're attacking. Right? So does that mean...
Well, I mean, I was doing the action, but maybe it's just that specific card, Bum's Rush, that does that.
That's weird that it...
We'll just ignore it for now.
Bum's Rush, if I'm looking.
Yeah, cool.
So you don't replace it in your hand until after combat. Attack an opponent's minion. You have an optional maneuver usable during this combat.
Maneuver. Combat maneuver.
What does that say again?
Combat. Right under combat.
Oh, got it. So it's saying, in the same way that Netrunner cards initiate a run.
Okay.
So this is what this is. It just initiates combat. So it's saying...
Don't replace until after combat. Attack an opponent's minion. Yeah, attack an opponent's minion, yeah.
Yeah, so if you attack, as soon as I block, then we're in combat, quote unquote.
No, it was the punk. He would die by the punk tips. And he triggered my punk. And it rested.
Take action.
Yeah, just initiating combat through something like Bum's Rush.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but it says though a minion enters combat when he or she is blocked. I mean, how does blocking work though?
Blocking is
Attack an opponent's minion, you have an optional maneuver usable during this combat.
Trigger for the storm. You played that blocker. I want you did everything.
I'm trying to read the glossary here. 728 has it.
Oh, only ready untapped minions can block or play reactions. When a minion attempts an action, they tap when the action is announced. Okay, so they tap when the action is announced. When a minion successfully blocks, they tap. A successful block requires intercept equal or greater than the current level of stealth. Okay, so back to this card. Okay, intercept +1. So you were able to do that against my cryptic mission. So stealth plus intercept, they equal out. So that's the only reason you could intercept there. A successful block requires intercept equal to or greater than. So block requires intercept. Only ready untapped, and that sounds like that's against actions and attacks.
I think you're right. Okay, so listen. If an action is blocked, then the action is not successful, and there is combat between the acting minion and the blocking minion.
So read that again.
So this is under blocking an action. It's not under combat. But it
Okay,
says,
blocking in action.
If the action is blocked, then the action is not successful, and there is combat.
And there is
The
combat.
acting minion and the blocking minion. Any costs
Okay.
for using cards or vampire powers for the action are not paid.
Any costs for using the action are not paid, such as losing blood and such, maybe.
Tapping, I guess. Well, you're attacking, so that taps it. Any costs for using cards or vampire powers are not paid. Yeah, you were right. Any action or action modifier cards are burned. The acting minion remains tapped. Anything that is attempting to block is called the blocking minion. So then I think you do 1 damage, unless I was to prevent it. But I don't think I will. So this takes 1 damage.
No, well, I mean, but that one intercepted, so now we enter combat,
Oh, you're
right?
right. He loses damage.
But now we enter combat, though, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so how does the combat and everything go?
So that'll go the same way we've been doing it. We basically start this.
Okay. All right, so you wouldn't take a damage now. We just enter combat, right?
Correct.
All right. And does yours tap, or how does that go?
That's a good question.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I guess it would have to because it'll untap at the start of my turn.
Yeah. All right. A minion enters combat when he or she is blocked or through such actions as Bum's Rush. Each minion involved in the combat has the opportunity to use combat cards. By default, acting minion leads in each of these steps below. All right, so I get to play a combat card now. And of course, I didn't have any combat cards in my hand. You have any? None.
I don't think he taps because tapped cards can't play certain cards.
Okay. All right. Determine range. Range by default is close. Typically, combat cards or equipment cards are required to maneuver. And if able, each player has the opportunity to maneuver to long range or maneuver back to close. Okay, but play any before strike cards. Acting player first. You have any combat cards? You said.
No, I'm not gonna play any.
Okay. Play cards to grant additional strikes. Each player can play press to continue combat or counter press to end it. Round ends, play any combat ends if no press was played. So, I mean, we're not playing any combat cards, so I guess nothing happens, or how does that go?
It still takes 1 damage. It's just not modified in any way.
Okay, so the damage still goes through, but
Yes. Yeah.
it's not as bad as it could have been, maybe. But,
Exactly. Yeah.
okay. All right, and then discard phase. I did doing influence. Puts you out. Discard phase. Playing event or discard a card. Oh, I didn't even draw back up either yet. Discard.
I'll let you have one.
Clear the box. No, first. That blue box is not mine.
Basically anything besides.
Yeah, you know what? I'll draw. Discard and draw, and then I'll draw back up. You always draw back to 7, but if you use a card,
You automatically.
yeah. Okay, so going back to 7. All right, and then I'll pass turn.
Okay.
So if he has, if you play like yeah, you can't fail, you get your one.
Okay.
I have the chocolate.
So everything on taps. Master phase. I got no master cards. Alright, I'm going to equip assault rifle to this guy. I don't know what 4R means. Each strike with an optional maneuver each combat.
For range.
4 range. But I don't think there are 4.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how far range you are away, or?
I think it's just close or far though. I don't think it goes up to 4 or anything.
Range by default is close. Typically, combat cards or equipment are required to maneuver, and if able, each player has the opportunity to maneuver long range or maneuver back to close. Okay, pre-range. Ian, before range, I'll play Carrion Crows. This will deal 2R damage to Brandon's minion during strike phase. I have no pre-range to play because Brandon passed the phase ends, but note that Ian could have played several pre-range cards before Brandon had the chance to pass.
Okay.
Will deal 2R damage. Maybe that's 4R damage, or I don't know.
4 range. Maybe it is. Maybe you can really run away.
You don't see in the book about the 2R, 4R?
Okay, yeah, let's see. Okay. Ranged weapons can be used either close range or long range. They are identified by the R next to the damage they do, as in 2R means 2 range damage. Usable either at close or long range. Sorry, all attacks that are not specifically ranged. Normal. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, so maneuver lets you move and change the range.
Okay. Maybe it doesn't affect the damage, but maybe just the range.
Yeah, I think you don't do damage if you're out of range.
Okay. Alright, so let's read that again. Ian, before range, I'll play Carrion Crows. This will deal 2 R damage to Brandon's minion during strike phase. I have no pre-range to play. Because Brandon passed, the phase ends, but note that Ian could have played several pre-range cards before Brandon had the chance to pass. Determine range. Default range is close. Ian, I'll maneuver to long using aids from bats. This forces Ian's minion into a specific strike and provides an optional press for this round. I'll maneuver back to close using inferior pursuit. I'll go long using the maneuver of my vampires. I'll maneuver back to close. Brandon's minion spends 1 blood to play the card and forces that minion into a specific strike. Ian, I have no more maneuvers. Brandon can't play any more maneuvers since he can't counter his own maneuver.
Yeah, so what we're doing wrong is there is counterattack.
There is counterattack?
There is counterattack, yeah. So that's why if I use a maneuver card to get out of range.
Oh, this is actually a weapon card, so you would like equip that like a weapon.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but it's 4 range. So if I have a maneuver card that moves me out of range, I can still attack you because I have up to 4 range, but you can't counterattack.
Yeah.
Because I'm out of your range.
Yeah.
Unless you close the gap with maneuver cards of your own.
Good. So you're just playing that card, yeah.
Yeah. Draw up. Okay. Then I move to my action phase. Okay. I'll play Bum Rush, speaking of this card.
Alright.
Attack an opponent's a minion. You have an optional maneuver usable during this combat. So I'll attack Sarah Cobbler. I'll use a maneuver to pull back 1 range. I think it's 1 per 1.
I don't know.
Do you have anything you want to play as far as range goes?
So I can play reactions right now.
I don't think you can because you're... No, you... I keep forgetting what you can do when you're tapped. You would first decide you want
I don't know if you can use it. If it's the card that you So if you allow
This game was so close. Your blue box is right there.
Joe, do you have that router the same letter.
I don't know. I think for range. I don't know. I'm confused, to be honest.
Oh my god. I didn't realize that was you. That's so...
I think I could play intercept cards, but I think that's about all I can play. You're doing an action, so in response to your action, I could play an intercept, I believe.
I guess that makes sense.
Not an intercept, but I mean a reaction to your action, yeah.
I think so. so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had that one card that let me react.
Yeah. But I have no reactions anyway, so. Well, I mean. Well. So, I mean, what's the action you're doing right now? You're doing Bum's Rush.
Yeah, I mean, it's an attack action.
Attacking opponent's minion. Alright, so if I have an intercept, it has to be in response to whatever action you're doing, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that's like you have.
Yeah, so you're attacking for 1, right?
Do you play Magic?
Yes.
Alright, so no reaction.
Okay. Okay, so that'll do 1 damage then.
Okay.
Then we move into, I guess, strikes. But okay, yeah. So you don't want to block. You're not going to do anything.
No reaction.
Okay. So it'll do 1 damage.
Okay.
Oh wait. Do I have to pay 5 for this?
Does it add 5 blood or yeah, that's a good question. Maybe it has a life of 5 blood or
Blue is not in a fun spot like this. Drop Bingo's really, really good. Like he's really crippled by the fact that that $6 card alone is 1 more board than I thought.
I told you. You were like, no, you play it out. I'm right sometimes. I didn't think the creed was so important. And now that plays out, like, you cannot play stack in 1.
Joe and Preston, who got it?
Oh, Joe.
Between Peyton and Xavier, who got it?
I'm just tired of playing Yuriko. It makes everybody so mad.
No, it doesn't. So I just make you.
I mean, I have other decks with me. I just pulled out because he was also playing black, so. I was having.
Well, can you explain what diabolic intent does?
okay, equipment cards are action cards that give minions special abilities. The equip minion action is at +1 stealth. If the equip action is unblocked, the equipped card is placed on the minion. So there's a whole action to equip them. But if the action is blocked, the equipment is simply discarded. See blocking in action, page 26. And no cost is paid. A minion may be equipped with any number of equipment cards. If a minion with equipment in play, if you have a minion with equipment in play, this equipment may be taken from him or her by another of your minions, who then controls the equipment. The minion attempting to take the equipment does so at +1 stealth. Taking equipment is an action that taps your minion taking the equipment. More than one piece of equipment can be taken at one time from the same minion. If the action is blocked, the equipment is simply not taken.
I don't know how this is gonna work, man.
Let's find out.
Yeah, I was just trying to see about that life thing.
Yeah, Don.
So it says purchasing equipment.
do have some.
Oh, you know what? I think I paid life.
Pay life, okay.
Yeah, I think I built
So that's 5.
Now then, I could have blocked that equip or whatever. So
You could have, yeah, if you want to.
how would I go about doing that though?
I think you need a card that does it. Like my card blocking the action. You can use it.
You can tell it.
Yep, and it would clearly say block, right?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
I put it together.
What was your block card? Oh, right here. Attempt to block. Block any action of any minion. Like Eagle Sight. Okay.
No, I came here a couple of times before. I just stopped up on
Nah, I can't block it.
this set didn't come out. Yeah. Before the set came out because everyone was red.
So that'll just do. That'll just do 1 damage. Did you already take it?
To Sarah Cobbler?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had 3, now it's 1. 2.
And then I'm gonna play press for additional strike to do 1 more damage.
Okay, she goes to 1. That goes to the pool, yeah.
2, 4, 6.
Yeah.
And if you're playing those cards from this set,
For that,
2, 4, 6.
I'm gonna put all 4 here.
Now you didn't want to do an action with that one?
Oh wait. Yeah, I'll bleed.
Bleed.
Yeah, so that'll be 1 from your.
Okay, now I'm down to a mere 14 in life. Pool.
Okay, and then your turn.
Alright, I'll untap phase.
I'm gonna discard draw.
This is this deck's like really slowly.
I'll master phase.
You would never run brand. That's different. I mean, the 2
Grid minions. Move as much blood as you want from your blood pool to 1 or more of your vampires you control. So I'll refill her
I
up.
was like, it seems pretty good, but it was kind of slow.
It's misleading
Yeah.
because so Kuro's
But only got 11 in my pool now.
is pay 3 plus 2 East Blue stand him.
Oh, did you want to try to block that action, that MasterCard,
No, no, I won't.
If this, I did not use it in my last game, but I probably should.
with other cards such as sudden reversal or wash? Minion phase. Take actions with your minions.
I do hate these one-piece rolls where you only have 1 move. That's it.
That sucks. It sucks.
Okay. This is a little bit better. Alright.
I was like, after this, you like to look at your deck.
Yeah.
You played, what were you playing before that? The Smoker deck? How'd you like Smoker?
I really love Smoker. Like, when the second set came out, I think I got into One Piece like a little after that. And
Smoker was your first structure deck and everything?
no, actually, what happened was I pulled some packs. You can go ahead.
Alright, I'm not sure of the timing windows and everything, but I'm gonna go. Yeah. Alright, I'm going.
Oh, you were like, okay, cool.
It's game draw.
Yeah.
Then the second thing I pulled was the Psycho.
Oh, so immediately you were like, okay, so now I'm playing black.
Yeah, like the universe.
I'll go cryptic missions.
I used to have 4 to
Yep. And then I guess I'm gonna modify it right now since I think that's how you gotta do it maybe. Add the action modifier. So I'm going cryptic missions with her. She's got the adeptness for Chimalagar. Thermagar, whatever. Thermagallargy. And so going +1 stealth. Remove 1 blood from a vampire. You want to block it?
I don't think I
You'll just need +1 to intercept, I think.
Yeah. No, I don't have any.
Oh yeah, but both of your guys are tapped. You can still do that even when they're tapped, or
It's a good question. I don't think so.
okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Best to learn from people who already know how to play.
Yeah,
yeah.
does help.
Yeah. All right, so go and remove 1 blood from any vampire, or do 1 damage to any ally or retainer. Okay, removing 1 blood. As above, but acting vampire gains 1 blood. Oh, you can't go over your pool, right?
No, you know what? When you put equipment on, it taps it. It's an action. So you couldn't have attacked last turn.
That one.
Yeah,
Okay.
with the assault rifle.
All right, but and we'll just worry about that next game.
Yeah.
Remove 1 blood from any vampire. Do the same, but add 1 blood. I kind of wasted that. And then +2 bleed. What does that mean? Oh, +2 bleed.
Yeah. So when you use your bleed action, it'll take 2 instead of just 1. No, 3 instead of just 1.
But this has to be used in with the freaking action, right?
Yeah. What does that symbol mean?
Action modifier.
Yeah. Oh, and the action is bleed.
All right. Well, in that case, screw that then, because okay, so I bleed. The action is bleed instead of. Oh, so you get to. I don't know. So is this a bleed or what action is this?
This is.
That's just to do that thing, but it's not a bleed though.
It's not a bleed. No. Bleed is
Okay.
cardless. You just do it. It's like running in Netrunner.
Okay, bleed is
It does
cardless.
tap. It does tap.
Okay, so I'll do that there,
Okay.
and then she's got the adeptness to do that. So then I use my other guy
Okay.
to bleed.
Yes. Yeah.
But don't you have to play this in response with in addition to a action card? Action modifiers. It's a
Action
free
modifier,
action.
yes.
Okay, so cardless action.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'll action modifier bleed, and then I guess if this has that adeptness,
Yeah. You're doing 4 total because you're.
adept
You
at,
got the diamond.
or rather it's that thing.
Is that one? Yeah.
Okay, but this costs me 1 blood to play it, or how does that go? Oh well, I mean we have this symbol right here.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Old blood cost. What's old blood cost?
Old blood cost.
Yeah, old blood. I mean I'm sure it's in there.
No, it's not in here.
Yeah, this is one of those games with a lot of little things,
I know.
but you can still kind of make sense of it though. It's not one of the games where you're just completely lost.
Yeah, I feel like it needs like what Fantasy Flight did for Netrunner.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
needs
yeah.
that, like a little revamp.
Very good. Yeah. Well, I mean they have like a 6th edition out right now. It's new, like, and you can get like a.
Yeah, I know Black Chantry puts games out. I didn't know they were on 6th though. I thought it was 5th edition.
Might be 5th. Yeah.
What about Rivals? Does that feel like a modernized version of this?
Rivals feels like a game where Rivals feels like there's like 3 types of combat or something,
Yeah.
and then there's like a line of stuff in the street. There's the street,
Yeah.
and then there's you're at your place.
Yeah.
You have a coterie as well, I believe, and then
Dude, if it just stood up by doing that.
you have a rival. Like if you're playing multiplayer, but if it's 2-player, I think they say like it's not great at 2-player,
Yeah.
but
But does it feel like a modernized version of this game, or does it feel like a different game?
feels like a different game.
Interesting.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like if you want to do that next week, we can. But it's gonna be like another one of these experiences. But if you wanna, we can.
Hopefully
But
a little easier.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, you want to call it there? That's 148.
Yeah, you want to call it? I call it.
Yeah. Man, I'm trying to see what this bleed does. Let me finish my turn though.
Oh, yeah. It's bleed.
So 1 bleed +3 since you have the affinity towards that brick, and then that'll be. Oh, do you do 2 bleed? So 3 bleed, and then an additional 4 bleed or?
I thought it was both, yeah. But that feels like a lot.
Yeah, but this doesn't have that direct thing right there. Yeah, hook.
Direct just means that when you're playing multiplayer, other players can block your actions, even if it's targeting somebody else, unless it's direct.
Okay. This is probably just if you have the affinity, then it's 3.
That would make sense, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, because that just seems crazy, like 5, 6, 7 bleed.
Yeah, that's a lot for this game. 30.
But yeah, I'm thinking let's go 4 bleed. No more than one of your bonding, conditioning, or threats can be played in a single action. Okay, bonding, conditioning, or threats can be played in a single action. Now, is that one each, or is that one total of any of those kinds? It says or, I don't know.
What was it?
Oh, I was saying no more than one of your bonding, conditioning, or threats can be played in a single action. So as part of this action, can I also play one bonding and one threat, or am I limited to just one conditioning and that's it?
I think it's or, you only get one of these 3.
Yeah,
Not one of each, I think.
makes sense. Probably.
Okay, yeah. So if you're proficient with diamond, you can use either. You can choose bold or unbolded action.
Okay.
But not.
So yeah, I'll do 4 bleed total.
All right.
Unless you wanted to block it or something.
No, I can't block it. I don't have anything.
Okay.
Oh, the brick is dominate. Ability
Dominate.
to exert influence over other vampires and mortals.
Okay. So I guess that resolves. And what was this old blood thing about?
I thought it was cost, but I don't know anymore. We might have to look that up for next time.
Yeah. All right. So with that, I guess we'll call it since both my guys are tapped.
Yeah.
Influence phase. I'll throw 4 on this guy.
Bring him up.
Does it get casted right now, or?
I think it does immediately, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that guy's out. Thomas Thorn, another one, 2 Thomas Thorns. And then this goes on the guy.
Yeah.
And yeah, that leaves me with 6 blood in the pool and 3 vamps out, though.
It's not a lot of blood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not a lot. And then you got what, about 9 blood over there?
Yeah. So 8.
Yeah. All right, so first play, not knowing too much about the game, what you think?
It was fun. I see why it's so popular, why it has such a following.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to play with more people.
Yeah.
Group. I feel like that'd be a very long game. I guess 2 hours is the max.
Yeah, 2 hours, yeah.
That'd be enough. Yeah, a lot of cool systems going on. A little complicated, obviously. It's from that era.
Yeah.
I feel like it could, like I said, use a refresh, but no, really fun. What'd you think?
Yeah, I like my first game playing with somebody who already is a vet, but this one was cool too. But yeah, like if you had to go 1 to 10 from what we know now, what would you think?
I'd say 7 for now.
7 for now?
It'll get better, but
Yeah.
what do you think?
Yeah, I'll go 8 for now because I played with somebody who knew how to play some years ago, but yeah.
Yeah, that helps.
Good stuff. All right, glad we got you. You get your real game played, one of those played.
I
So,
wanted to. I really did. Thank you.
oh
Thanks for
yeah,
bringing it.
anytime.
One. That's
Oh yeah, the jihad, which the creators regret now.
yep.
But what do you do? Times change.
I think that's one of the reasons the game failed. They had to change the card back.
Oh really?
Once you change the card back, it's like everyone's cards have to be replaced. I don't know how common sleeving was back then.
Yeah. Sleeping was still pretty new then, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah, that could have been a major contributor. That sucks.
Yeah. That's what Nisei is going through right now because they changed their card.
Yeah.
Signal.
Yep, I mean, that's what you do that's what happens when you use potentially loaded words from a language that's not your own.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Lessons learned.
Yeah. But it's a lesson they could have learned from a 20-year-old lesson, but they chose not to.
They should have looked to Vampire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Should have known. Ugh. All right, well, on to the next game.
All right, see ya.
See ya. Good stuff.
That was so good. I was going to. You go to find even if you turn around, you have 5. Oh, you can play your own green.
Yeah, that was fun. Thanks for bringing this.
Oh yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah, they just put out Null Signal just put out the new card backed cards like last week for order.
I mean, has the back already been out, or is it a totally new back that we haven't seen before in previous?
They've shown it, but
Okay.
the PDFs had it for a long time.
Okay.
But the print files hadn't been set up yet, I guess. So now when you order like a fully set, you know, like when you order the printed cards,
Okay.
now it comes with the new card backs.
Okay.
Thought
You've
about
been
grabbing
playing
some.
online?
I've been playing that single player against an AI a little bit, but not too technical.
Okay.
I really want to.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, we got to hop on that.
Yeah. We're gonna have to.
And I have to.
I wonder if Vampire has one too.
Surely.
I thought we could find pros, someone in the world who would play.
Yeah.
I could be a nun.
You want to keep some of this, any of this?
No,
I
you
definitely got
You can hold on to it.
Okay. Yeah. If you ever need to know where it's at, I got you. Put
Yeah,
it.
thank you.
Okay. 9 at least.
Is that the guy we played Sorcerer with? What's his name?
With the hair?
Yeah.
Don't remember. And RPGs, man. So. You say you big on RPGs or not so much?
I played it once. I liked it.
Once.
But the game sessions are too long for me. Do like 4 or 5 hours.
Okay, they're 4 or 5 hours.
I
Okay.
guess we do 4 hours here, but
But it's different games. Yeah.
This card will change your deck.
I guess we'll do one of these deals again. Put all the games on the table.
yeah.
Oh man.